Hello, we're here for another I Ching reading. I have my card deck that I've created, and this is just a general reading. If you felt called to watch this video, then maybe you'll find something in here that really speaks to you. If you hear things that don't seem to resonate, just let those pass you by. But there may be something here that was channeled just for your benefit, and so I encourage you to accept the words if they feel like they are hitting you a certain way. Um, the I Ching's useful if you have a situation or a question in your heart that you don't already know what it is that you think or feel or want to do or how you should position yourself with that. The I Ching is a complete picture of all the kinds of forces of change in the universe. And so it gives you the one that is the most useful in teaching you how to be responsive in that situation. I have here a calling to our guides, guardians, ancestors, and the spirit of the elements to bring the message for the people who need to hear it. Give this a shuffle, and then I will draw cards. Usually just do a spread and then let my hand magnetically find the one that feels right. Ooh, 63 after ending. The task is safely accomplished, but the work is never over. Now is a moment of good fortune. However, all good things come to an end. It's wise to conserve your energy, consider the challenges that may lay ahead. And so we have here the little fox who just crossed this river and is taking just a little rest. This is 63, so next to last hexagram in the I Ching. Generally, when I pull either 63 or 64, those last two have a very symbiotic relationship to each other. It's almost like a 2-for-1 package. And 64 is called before ending. And it's the so right before you cross the river, right? Or in the middle of crossing the river before you finish crossing the river. The river is sort of this metaphor for the great work or the challenge or obstacle before you that you need to cross in order to get to the prophesied land of milk and honey or perfect hunting ground, the place of abundance, right? Something there on the other side. The grass is always greener. These ideas of crossings, having a passage that is blocked and or opened in a certain way. One more card, and that will help us know what our changing energy is. This one, this one, this one. Shedding. Ooh. Number 23. Accept, for some reason, that word. Accept that collapse is inevitable. Let go of all hindrances. Free yourself of any desire to act or control this situation. No goal or action is beneficial. Instead, find rest within yourself. When the shedding is finished, there will be plenty of room to grow. That's okay. Let's take a look at these. So, we have in these two, what changing lines and what elements? Let's look at the elements first. So with our first one, there's the sun beneath the moon. Every other line is a different, either broken or solid, right? And then with shedding, we have all broken lines with one solid at the top. It's going to be a lot of changing lines. So the first line is changing. The third line is changing. The fifth and the sixth are all changing. First, third, fifth, and sixth. So whenever there's that many changing lines, we really are here. This is the present and this is the past. If depending on the number of changing lines, you might have this is the present, this is the future. But we're here at the shedding place with this particular hexagram, which means the lines that aren't changing here are the ones that we will read. We will read line 2 of shedding and line 4 of shedding. Okay. Just an elemental reflection with these elements. So we had the sun over beneath the moon, and then we have the world beneath the earth. And that moon is changing into earth at the top, and the sun is changing into the world at the bottom. We have these heavenly bodies transitioning into these very earthly bodies or elements. And that's there's a grounding quality just to that gesture of those elements changing. So meditate for just a moment on how that feels to you. What just the idea of those elements transitioning into each other, how that speaks to your situation for you. I will pull up our cards and our lines. Other names for shedding. We have splitting apart, laying, peeling, decay, stripping away, collapse, which I think is the kind of the idea of the picture here is a collapsing, a landslide, fracturing, tearing, disintegration, ruin, unraveling. We have the idea of eliminating something that's outmoded or worn out, uncovering or taking off a skin. Reducing to the essentials. I really think of those things falling away that you no longer need, that you're shedding them right off. The advice to the superior person. Let's see what we have on that. The superior man stabilizes his responses and seeks tranquility. The truly great shower generosity upon those under them to enable them to live in peace and comfort. Those above ensure position by giving generously to those below, strengthening the inferiors to secure the peace and stability of the self. So I have a sense that there's a great need, that the advice you're getting here is very much about really searching inward, peeling away the layers of the onion, so to speak, of yourself, and finding that inner something that needs that generosity, that needs that building up or strengthening, and letting just the superficial aspects sort of fall away so that you can focus very concretely on stabilizing and finding peace with that core aspect of the self in this situation. And which lines did we say we're changing here? I've already forgotten. It looks like we have the ones that are the same, line 2 and line 4. Okay, so let's look at line 2 and 4. Line 2. In your past, this is your past line. Um, though it could be a very recent future or like you're a very close to present moment, the moment you are breathing breath into, right? Stepping into in mere moments. Because of this being the far past over here. You just crossed a river, right? That's your far past. So you made some great passage over that river very recently. And that process led you to this shedding, right? And so you're about to breathe your breath into the moments of the second line. Um, and so consider your situation right now one where your boundaries are disintegrating to some extent. There's a weakness. You have shed these things away, and so you don't even remember, you're not really sure where your new boundary is. It's very uncertain. Um, the way the line reads here is stripping the bed, marking it off, discarding um, a rotten bed frame. These are just words I'm pulling from various translations. There is um, some corruptions or rotting pieces that you are stripping and shredding away right now as a result of this great passage, this great work that you did, that lets you come to this place where you can strip those things off. But it's really important that because you're unsure where your boundaries are right now, because of these enormous changes that are happening, that you not try to stand too firmly on these superficial rotting things that you're discarding, that you may have considered parts of your essential self very recently, up for most of your life up until this very moment. And so, yeah, I just advise the advice here I feel is don't stand on those things. Don't seek them out for stable ground because they are not stable ground anymore. They are about to fall right off. Um, yeah, that's the first part of this reading is line 2. And then line 4. Peeling off at the mattress of the bed. Oh, ripping off the matting of the bed. So that's the bed frame is what holds the bed up. The mattress is the part that you lay on. Um, that seems like a very essential thing that's about to be peeled away in line 4. Um, this renovation of your life up until this moment, this great change you were going through, is kind of getting away from you. You started stripping things because that was what you needed to do. That was the work of crossing the river, was you were needing to get some of these layers off of yourself. And I think the warning you have for this future line, and it's not come to pass yet, but I think the warning that it's giving you is to, in that process, don't strip away too much. Um, you got to figure out where to stop stripping, where you need to stop peeling things away, so that you don't lose the essential core thing, that you need to have to carry forward as the best whole healed self that you will be when this process is over. Um, So maybe take a step back for a moment and breathe. Take a pause from that. Question what fear or thing that is driving this process in you right now. Um, and make sure it's not distorting or causing illusions about um, what it is that you need to be standing on as this firm foundation, this stabilizing factor that is sort of the great, remember the advice to the superior individual was very much about being generous to your inner lower selves, inferior selves, um, not to strip away so much that they can't be healed or nourished, right? And that was very much about seeking this stability or something tranquil and stable. And so that is something you need to pause and find that core boundary. It's okay if there's layers of boundaries that you discard in this process, but find that. That's the advice I have for you.